Okay, so this tutorial is going to talk about some of the cameras that are available in 3D Studio Max here. We have two types. So we have a target and we have a free camera. I much prefer to use the target camera, mostly because you can start to control two handles with that. You can control what the camera is looking at, and you can control the camera itself separately. Those are just a matter of opinion. Free cameras are essentially the same as the target camera, except that you have to sort of orient and look at whatever it is you want to do via the view of the camera. The target camera comes in particularly has more advantages when you actually start getting into animation. You want to move the camera around objects or target things as they are moving themselves. So that's the advantage and the difference between the two. So under the Create tool, cameras, we have the standard tab, and we can create a target camera. If we click and then drag, we can locate that on here. And then if we left click on, you can see this turned yellow, we can set this as the camera view. And then when we come in here, and I'm going to actually start manipulating this, we can move this guy around. And you can see that updates. And so as I zoom out, you can start to see how this is starting to work here. And so there's a couple nice little features about this that you can use, and for one reason or another, this view is all set up. You'll note that the camera doesn't actually exist as an object in space, so it's not anything you can see. And the way that the system actually reacts to that is you have these little icons that float, but they actually are always at the same scale no matter what. They're infinitely small or infinitely large. Daylighting systems are like that. We'll cover that in another tutorial, but they're just objects, widgets for you to grab onto. Okay, so when you come in here, we have the camera selected. We can start to manipulate that and move that around. The camera has a lot of really nice features that you can start to adjust as you become more familiar with it. Once we actually set this as a viewport, if we're in this view, if you look at our view tools, we can zoom, we can pan, we can orbit, and all that. If we actually go into one of the active views for the camera, though, we can start to adjust some of the settings for that camera. So we can pull the perspective back and start to flatten that out, or we can make it more pronounced if we're trying to get into the space. We can change our field of view if we're in tight spaces or in interiors, so we can start to adjust that so that we can really start to get in and capture a lot more of the space. And then we can also start to dolly in and dolly out. So as we start to animate some of this stuff, you can control those things as you're moving through the spaces very, very easily. You can roll the camera, you can orbit the camera, and all those features. And all those features are also available on the free camera. It's just that as we start to get into this, we can start to select the camera target here. Here, I'll just do it from list. And then we can start to move that around really easily. And we can start to pull that up if we so choose. And so it becomes a lot easier to manipulate what the camera's looking at when you guys are setting up your views, and for your animations you can very specifically specify the target location very easily. Okay?